What the hell's going on? Are we fucking live?
Are we late? I burped and no one.
Oh god.
Hello and welcome to Pirate Radio this evening, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. This is actually our 6th podcast, and I'm sorry that I'm still laughing after Zavi's great intro there.
We need some sort of like alarm goes off when we go live.
So, hopefully everything is working, everyone on the stream is happy, but of course you're here, as per usual, to listen to us chat about the TF2 scene, mainly European. In fact, I don't think there's any NA news this week at all, with ESEA being wrapped up last week. So we're just going to first off dive straight into all the gossip that's been going on this week, and there has been a fair bit of it. Do you want to go in straight away, Zavi?
Where do you want to start? Let's start with Broda. Torden has quit TF2 most likely because he's got an internship at a company Jimmy Breeze works for. Looking at all interconnected TF2 friends. So Zebasai's moving to medic, which means they need a new scout, and it seems to be Dayux. He tried to trial today and seems to be the only real suitable candidate.
Okay, so obviously then need a scout with Zebo moving to medic instead. I don't know whether that's a bit of a strange move. Obviously, let's first of all talk about Torden leaving. So, you know, creator of the team, main cooler, you know, kind of the only Prem player other than Leon that was, you know, from the previous like Prem teams, like rather than the guys that will work themselves up. Is this going to be really, really detrimental to their lineup? I would say yes. Cadus, what do you think about Torden leaving the team?
I reckon they'll still do okay. I think their level of improve, like the speed they improve at, is going to stop dramatically for a while. But I don't think they're going to like plummet. They'll stay around the same level they were at because they've all been playing with Torden for so long, and he'd like drilled it all in their head. But I think they'll stop improving for a while at least.
Okay, that's fair enough, really. I think that it's going to, you know, just not having Torden there to call will not be that helpful for them. You know, I think Zebo was main calling for a bit because it's better for a soldier to call than the medic, was what Torden's, you know, outlook on it was. But obviously, you know, not having Torden, he's moved to Manchester, moved with Jimmy Breeze, going and working in that company. Congratulations to him getting that internship. You know, wish him all the best. And from what I've heard, he might even be back in 2 weeks to play for them yet again anyway. So this move with Dayux, is it? I think I've seen him playing. Dayux playing for them. It's kind of a bit of a weird one. Do you know what the deal with that, Xavi, is?
Well, I set it up clearly.
Oh
because,
yeah. Pulling all those strings.
They were going to trial Nice, who's, you know, another up and coming Swedish scout. And I was talking to Zebo today while we were arranging a PCW, and told him that Nice has joined quarantine. So Zebo then sort of had to find someone to replace him. I said, why not get Dayux? As hard as it would be to tempt him away from Bro Code.
Yeah, so that's quite a new team as well, actually, isn't it? So
I hear Bro Code almost has half a roster now, so I'm not sure if he wants to go to Broda.
No, they're down to 2 players without Dayux because Sickless has quit. So they're a third, good third of a roster there. It's basically Tectron in a box. It's an ulti-duo team.
Pretty good. I reckon they'll win it.
Yeah. And what? Oh,
well, they've got nothing else to practice for.
Every ulti-duo competition. Sorry, who is it? Harry Hook and co.
Harry Hook and the Stannis.
Yeah,
you know,
time's up, boys.
What about Cook and Shintaz, man? I hear they're the new kids on the old Euro blog.
I don't know, man.
How can you stop Tectron?
Oh god. Well, and that's pretty much all the Broda news there about the changes. It's mainly just losing Torden. It's such a big deal, but we have to wait and see with the anticipated new season how they get on with that, and whether Dayux will actually fit into the lineup, and Zebo now switching over to medic. So I swear when I first saw him play, he was playing Demo Man. He might have been playing Soldier actually before Demo. He was Soldier, then Demo, then Soldier, then Scout.
Demo for Team
Medic.
Sweden.
Team Sweden, yeah.
Yeah, that was why I saw him. So yeah, he used to be Soldier before that, then Demo, and then went back to Soldier in Broda, went Scout for a little bit, and now he's gone Medic. It's, you know, ultimate multi-classer. Can he topple Anti? That's the biggest question, I have to say. Okay. Yeah, so Zebo's just PM'd me as well, saying that DX did a good job tonight. So there you go. If they are picking him up, that's obviously good for DX. In all honesty, getting pushed forward, outside of that perpetual Div 1 area. I don't know how long he's been that sort of skill level. I don't really know him very much other than was he in the VYE lineup a while ago?
He played with what was
Or a UV lineup or something?
Peace
Yeah,
and
they-
Love, whatever they were called. Yeah, UV. And then
UV,
he
yeah.
took a break for a bit and came back.
Okay, so well, there you go. If he does join them, it's definitely a good move for him getting into Prem. I
think
can't
his
really, say very much about his own skill, but go
I,
for it, guys.
I think he has like a quite a strong background in NS, like the
Okay,
same as players like Walters and those kind of people. So I think he picked TF2 up very quickly,
yeah.
and he went almost straight to Div 1 pretty much, and then stuck around there for a while, went inactive. So I think he could make the jump quite easily.
Cool. Well, that sounds good, to be honest there. And I think that's pretty much it for Broda. Let's move on to the next little bit of news. And it's pretty much just quarantine. Obviously, they needed a scout when Clipham left, and they've finally picked up Nace. We had a chat about how he was possibly joining last week, I think, maybe the week before. And it's now all confirmed. Nace is now their scout, so scout partner with Bevan. As I said before, I still don't know very much about him. I've not seen him play, not spoken to him. So do any of you know much about him?
I literally haven't heard anything about him outside of these podcasts.
Yeah.
I've been told he's got good potential. He was an Anti's team for like a couple of weeks or something. I'm being told he might be the next big thing.
Okay, well, if he's the next big thing, scout pairing with Bevan, that's pretty
The
strong.
old big thing.
Yeah, exactly. So have to see how that, progresses, especially in Div 1. I feel that Quarantine should be definitely looking to take that division. If, the only other team that should give them any, actual competition is Deserto, I think, in Div 1. But we're going to go over the, ETF2L groups and everything like that a bit later, so we won't dive straight in with that now. And we'll just keep moving on through the rest of the gossip. The actual next bit of gossip, I think, that I've got written down here. Yep. It's pretty big news, guys. He put out a massive plea last week to get into a team on this podcast. And instead of finding a team,
It's not
kicked
confirmed.
as manager. He's kicked his medic
It's
from
not
his team, and he's
confirmed.
playing instead.
Sparkle went out this evening, and I was on Mumble, so I stepped in. So what happened?
Was it a dream come true? Was it everything you ever thought
Playing
it would
against
be?
the heights of unexistence and just having GDK jump at me every time. Fun.
Sounds great.
Welcome to Prem, bro.
Well, earlier in the week, though, Sparkle did have a little hissy fit, I think, over the team. From what I've heard,
That
he
happens every day,
doesn't
it's
have
nothing.
enough time to play TF2 as well as whatever he's doing.
He finds out this. He finds out next weekend how busy his work schedule will be. So then we'll see.
Okay, so are you if it goes the other way, if he's gone, are you stepping in?
I believe that is the plan.
Oh,
God help
my
him.
God.
Oh dear.
See you on match day, Cadus.
I'm not so sure.
Oh God, I think the thread that Anti made earlier in the week is pretty much answered just by that one comment. Commander X in Prem. Oh,
Would they not consider trying to pluck Tectron maybe from
Wait,
his
why would he leave?
from his
Why
from
would
his
he leave?
ulti duo partnership?
I don't know if we could be that tempting. What have we got to offer that Evokje hasn't?
Like 5 extra hands or something, sets of hands.
So
Yeah,
that's quite big news. Obviously, Exotic being Prem now, we have to wait and see what happens to them. They keep shaking up their roster continuously ever since they, Koichi and Taimu Taimu was removed and Koichi left. So maybe you can bring Taimu back, persuade him back into, Exotic.
That would be the worst reunion ever. I don't think anyone would want that.
Yeah, so let's have a... Sorry, I was just reading the chat. Let's move on to the next topic, which is actually pretty big news. I've heard it through the grapevine earlier today, and I need Cadus to confirm or deny this to me. One of our good friends and double mixers, Alex Mulliner, is that right? Mulliner?
Johnson.
Possibly possibly going to be quitting TF2. Can you confirm this for me, Cadis, or deny it, or tell me what's going on?
Well, he said today that he doesn't have an interest to play TF2 anymore, so it's looking like we're going to be searching for a new gamer.
So that is pretty big news. Jesus, Hat is one of the linchpins in that lineup in my books, and that's quite dodgy. Losing, did he main call? I'm pretty sure he did main call.
Well, in the old version of Yo-Yo Tech, he main called, and in this version, this season's iteration of Yo-Yo Tech, he was supposed to main call, but his I'll say this with my fingers flicking in the air, his internet went out for a week, so I've actually spent the last week playing without him anyway. So I'm not sure. I was doing a lot of calling, but he wasn't really around, so I don't know if he would have stepped up and carried on calling, but I don't know. It's just going to be a continuation of how we've been doing it anyway because he's not been there.
All right, that's fair enough then, really. So, have you discussed any possible replacements? Can you air any of them? Who would you want to fill that role?
Well, we literally found out about 15 minutes before we PCW today. But we'd had a quick discussion, and there's no real standout candidates. We have talked about bringing Mace Windu out of retirement, but no, we're gonna consider. We've discussed a few names, but there's no one who really stands out. So we'll probably be patient.
What about Big Blue?
I don't think he's active enough, really. He can't play apart from a really weird schedule. He is the standout kind of player on the ETF recruitment section, but his availability is just not going to.
Fourth and fifth teams in Prem at the moment, both losing crucial players from their lineup. It's a bit dodgy, and looking forward to the next season and how they can compete with the top three, and then the other three new entries into the season. So I don't know how you feel you might do, Cadus, but we'll move on because obviously the next topic is actually ETF2L tables, and so they got released this week. Provisional tables at first, and Prem and Div 1 I don't think ever changed. I think it was just pretty much done from the get-go. Deserto had a little option of trying to join, or tried to petition to join Prem instead of tryharders, yeah, but got rejected, as Zavi just said. So unfortunate for them, which means they're in Div 1 along with Quarantine. So why don't I just go quickly down the tables quickly as I open the web page again. So we've got Epsilon, Carnage, Cracklam, Broder, Yo-Yo Tech, Infused, Exotic, and Tryharders. Who wants to dive in first, giving some predictions maybe for this season, where you think people will end, who's gonna come up top dog, and who's gonna get relegated?
Infused will win. My prediction.
I
actually agree.
Despite your best attempts at dying all the time.
I think Epsilon will get bored and won't practice enough, and you'll steal it from them. Unless some new announcements get made. Well, I moved someone out of the channel. Who was it? It was Commander X. Oh, that doesn't matter. We don't need him anyway.
Thanks,
anyway,
mate.
yeah. Unless something big gets announced that encourages Epsilon to play, I think their practice schedule might suffer in coming weeks, and they'll perhaps lose out as a consequence.
Okay, so perhaps the announcement we have later might spark their interest. So
maybe so.
And relegations? Do you guys want to give a prediction for relegations?
It's got to be Exotic, really, doesn't it?
On what basis? They just picked up the best available medic.
Well, I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest. I think they might stand a chance depending on what happens with Yo-Yo Tech are in a mess now. Broder here, there, and everywhere. Tryharders will probably fold. So if it was yesterday and Torn was still playing, Hat was still playing, I'd say Exotic for sure.
Ouch.
But now I don't really know. It's no offense to Exotic. It's just literally compare the rosters and look at history, and it just kind of speaks for itself. They could surprise me. I hope they do, but I don't expect it.
I reckon out of the five teams outside the top three, Carnage will do the best.
I think I would probably agree with that. I have to say that Tryharders, if Astanis and Longas are on form, are pretty good. Their soldiers don't really, they play just there so someone shoots them. They look at me, yeah. Shoot me instead, and then the scout just comes in behind and kills everybody. So
they do their job.
Yeah, exactly. So if Longast and Astanis are on form, they'll be good. So I think they might be the team to upset and steal that fourth position sort of thing. Carnage definitely a strong team. A lot of strong players there. I'd have to agree with you with Exotic being the team probably to end up in the automatic relegation. But going back to tryharders, as you said, they could quite easily fold. I don't know though. With
I think
Mineral and Koichi, even if they sort of players that might end up folding a team would still stick with it. I reckon just to have a bit of fun in Prem. So
I
don't know.
think if tryharders don't fold, then they could be like the surprise team of this season. I know that's a kind of circular statement because everyone will be surprised just because they don't fold. But I mean, in terms of their like how they finish, I think they could be like the sneaky like playoff candidate.
Yeah, the maybe even pull a sort of crack clan out of the works, and
Yeah. But I think they will be inconsistent, so it's really going to come down to how well they play on their match days. I don't think you can really, like track them and like predict how they're going to do. It's just going to come down to like, are they on the day or not?
yeah, which is probably the same as the old red code lineup and the old
Yeah.
what was the other team that Taimu was the Taimu's team, whatever it's called.
No,
VYE, was it
No,
not?
VYE had like Mineral and Koichi.
it
And
was
Alright.
it had like Quinn and Quad and Taimu and
Oh, they were called. I don't remember what they were called.
yeah, a lot,
They had
hopefully everyone
Hazy for a
knows what
bit.
we're talking about. So that team that kind of surprised here and there. I mean, they beat Dignitas, and that was the last game
Too
Dignitas played
strong.
it before they folded. So as you hear Quinn chiming in, then so yeah, so I reckon that's probably how the divisions are going to play out. I would say Crack Clan as it stands are not strong enough against to pressure Epsilon infused hard enough at the moment. I think it's a quite clearly a like two-horse race with the third team being lagging behind a little bit and then everyone else behind that. Um, I think hopefully we'll be able to finally beat Epsilon in a final. Wow.
I think keeping in mind that there's like for Crackline, it really doesn't matter like about their schedule because they're going to make playoffs either way. But
Yeah.
I think give them a season, and I think they're going to be a lot better because Bash is like he's a really good player, but he's not like he does have sick DM, but he's not the kind of player that just jumps in a roster and immediately makes it amazing. Because he's a really smart player, and he kind of takes time to adjust, and he's the kind of player who will make a roster much better, but you won't see the results of it immediately.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how he would fit in actually with the likes of Harry Hook and Retro Roy's. They're all there having a bit of a laugh when they play. So
Yeah.
when
I
he's
think
quite a serious,
he's
keen gamer.
talked to Redshock the other day, and he was saying like Bash is talking more in Mumble, coming out a bit more, settling in a
Okay.
bit more, joining in with
Ba-
jokes.
Bash is a good laugh when he gets comfortable, but yeah, he is a bit in his shell at first. He does like to have a little giggle every now and then.
Well, let's hope that by the playoffs, because effectively the top three should anyway be in the playoffs. They will have got to grips with each other, be ready to play, and give them 8 weeks, 7 weeks, however long it is till then. They will be ready there to come and actually pressure infused Epsilon. So should be good set up for the playoffs, but we'll have to wait and see really what happens come the actual season. I don't know how the actual games are going to go ahead compared to how last season was so competitive. With teams stealing maps here and there, I don't really know what's going to happen. But let's move on from Prem. Let's go into just a quick look at Div One. I don't really know every team there. I'll just go down the ones that obviously the 8 teams in Div One, which is LMS, Last Man Standing, Unexist, International Secret Intelligence Service, Quarantine, Blast, Team Deserto, Equilibrium, and La Giraffe. So, all I can see really from that is Quarantine Deserto going to be topping the tables. Obviously, some of these Russian teams will give a bit of an upset. I don't know what you
Unexist, I
guys.
think.
Big GDK.
I think Unexist could. I don't know. I haven't seen them play, but again, it's just kind of based on like historically their roster has good players, like players that have kind of proven they can win Div One.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I heard earlier today they weren't really that good, and I heard
We
that from a
played
Russian.
today.
But I don't know if it was from a Russian who's bitter that he's not on the roster, or a Russian who who genuinely says they're not that good.
We played them today, and they were okay. They were just like constantly aggressive, and it felt a bit more. I don't know, like they weren't quite settled as a team yet, and it wasn't quite that.
The
Who
thing
was
is with
the-
Russians is they play such like an aggressive way, but it's so natural to them. Like other teams, I know it's a lot, especially at the Div 1 level. In PCWs, they'll be very aggressive, but then when it comes to a match, they think, wait, if we go aggressive and it fails, then we're in trouble and we'll fucking move someone. Fuck my life. Anyway, they'll think like if they go aggressive, then they're going to fail. And so they play with a different mentality in officials. But Russians don't tend to do that. So they tend to be the more surprising teams when you come across them in matches.
Yeah, definitely. They do have a little extra element here and there, but like I was just reading in chat, I think Poop saying that they, beat them in 10 minutes majority of the time by the sounds of that. So I don't know how strong they're actually going to be. Um,
I
I'm
haven't seen them.
being PM by somebody as well. This is going on. So anybody else in Prem? I mean, did one even want to talk about
Blast,
quarantine?
Blast have a lot
Blast?
of French people, so I wouldn't rule them out to pull off some artificial surprises.
They have good mids. They're quite organised because they've been playing together for ages. So they're a lot more together than lots of the current Div 1 teams.
Is Flippy that guy who snipes a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really good sniper. So on like maps like Snake Water, I think they could get some surprises because he's like really fucking good at sniper. It's literally a joke.
Yeah, so we actually missed one thing as well during all of this about the Erectus pickup. Sorry, a while ago by the Tryharders team. So I don't know what you guys want to. If you guys want to go into that quickly now, while we're just
Good pickup.
good
It's-
pickup.
It was a good
Yeah.
It's good, definitely based on what's available. I think it's a nice steal. It's a shame the other team had to fold because of it, but like I don't think that team was really going anywhere anyway. If I'm honest, there were some other good players in it though, but I think it was just a bit of a weird mix, and it was never really going to work long term. But I played Tryharders this week, and Erectus didn't really seem entirely comfortable, but it was literally must have been one of his first games with them, so I don't really draw any judgment from it.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, it'd probably work out to be honest if their team plays together. I've seen them play. I think what was his old team he was in?
Reno.
Yes, he was quite a defensive demo man. I don't know if it was down to like the players he was playing with or anything like that. I think I've been talked about this before, but definitely seemed like a decent DM. Definitely there with potential in Prem, but we'll have to wait and see how it actually plays out going through into the next season. Oh.
Goes to school with Retrock. He can't be bad at that.
So let's just move on to our next topic. We've pretty much covered all the provisional divs or the actual tables for the divs for this season. Do you guys want to have a look at the Prem games this week? As we go, obviously first week this week, guys. So I'm just gonna click on Div 1. I mean, week 1 even.
It's Epsilon versus Tryharders, which is Epsilon all over. Broda versus Infused, which is Infused all over. Crack Clan versus Carnage, which is Crack Clan all over. And Exotic are playing Yo-Yo Tech. Bring it, Cadus.
So will you be playing in that, Zavi, or will Sparkle be here this week?
No. I presume
Okay.
Sparkle will be here.
And I assume Yo-Yo
We're not
Tech
playing it this week.
I was going to say, I assume Yo-Yo Tech won't want to play it this week either if Hat's no longer there.
No, it's
We won't.
fairly possible that we'll wildcard it. I
Okay.
think it depends. I couldn't say at this
Oh.
point, but
Ty says Carnage are going to wildcard CC as well until Radiator is here.
uh-oh.
So that's half the games postponed.
I think
Nothing ever changes.
we're trying to organise our game, but obviously I expect Broder will wildcard our game as well. So nothing ever changes in Prem, does it?
No. Oh well.
It's kind of a bad time. I don't think
It's
no
just a
one
coincidence, really.
no one was ready for the season. Like I'm not going to go into an ETF2 rank because they announced ages ago when the season would start, but I don't think the teams really triggered in their heads like, okay, that's the date the season starts. Because everyone just seems to just kind of trying to got their shit together like this week.
I think the fact that they've released the dibs yesterday and then given the matches yesterday as well, and
Yeah.
then gone organise this for next week. Fair enough, you can do that, but generally, like in ETF2L's like books, aren't you meant to organise it the week before?
Oh yeah,
the
I think they
deadline
extended
is-
the deadline now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first week deadline is now like next Friday, like 4 days away or something still.
Because
Ah,
originally
okay.
it was yesterday.
Yeah,
to the
originally
scheduled
it was
deadline.
like right now it has to be scheduled.
So yeah, so maybe they could have just given us an extra, put the divs out yesterday, and then next week, Sunday would have been the first day, automatic, when week 1 starts, Sunday onwards sort of thing, rather than this Sunday onwards. But I don't really care. From my point of view, I'd rather get every game, all the games out of the way as soon as we possibly can. Playing Broder, from our point of view, we'll probably rather play them now when they don't have Torden. So,
No fucking sportsmanship.
indeed. So, no, I don't care at all. But we, hopefully we'll actually get some games played in January. I doubt it. To be honest with you, wild cards galore. Come next week, we'll see some actual games being played. What maps is it this week? Badlands, Snakewater.
Snakewater.
Yeah, so not too bad maps this week. I think there's a week where it's Freight and Granary, and that'll be a pretty dull week.
Maltus has written in chat now, Epsilon and Tryharders are going to play on Tuesday, so there will be Prem action this week.
Tryharders have Epsilon first.
Yes.
I think that's actually very interesting because Tryharders have been trying quite hard, while Epsilon have not been trying hard at all. I think they play like 1 day a week for the past few weeks. Like I know they're scheduling most days this week, like this week coming, but on Tuesday they're going to play like 2 days before that. Whereas Tryhards have played like every day, and Tryharders are like a DM team anyway.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting game. Hopefully it will be played this week. We got some TF2 to watch. I've just been messaged by Zebo saying Torden won't be back this season. So, and our game will probably be waiting until next week after they have a bit of time to play with their scout. I don't know. Because Torden's only away for 3 months, I think.
How come?
So
is he
an
literally
internship
in Manchester with Jimmy Bruiser's company? Yeah.
To what end?
I don't know. Just something different, I guess. I don't know.
It's something video, media, designy, something creative like that.
Okay. So is he going back to like Norway or the Netherlands or wherever he was before?
I assume the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's where he was studying. So.
Oh, okay. I thought he was actually like moving there longer term than that.
I don't know. It might end up being a longer term thing, but
yeah. Oh well.
Cool. Right. Should we move on to the game that happened this week, which was Infuse versus Epsilon? I don't really want to cover it too much. It gets a bit dull and tedious talking about the games I've played, or the games that I hate talking about it really. And I don't think many of these guys actually tuned in. Kadis had an exam the day after, and Zavi's just Zavi. So I think Zavi watched Badlands, so that's about it.
Watch Badlands, yeah. It's decent.
So yeah, just go check the VODs out, guys, if you want to check the game out. If it was 2 really close maps and 1,
I did actually see the end of Gully Wash, like the last 5 minutes or so. I liked how you managed to like throw away almost the exact same scoreline you had the time before.
Did we do it again?
It's like I came on and it was like 10 minutes to go, and it was like Infuse the winning, so I tuned out and just assumed they would throw it away, and then I checked later.
Wow.
Oh,
that'll be a fun watch later for me.
So of course, yeah, it was a good end to the map, and I was like a whole 1 step away from blocking that point. God damn you, Randa. But so congratulations to Epsilon taking away those 6 graphics cards. Did we talk about them before? Half decent, like not new tech, but all right cards, I think. But that's pretty much all we're going to talk about on the Exlo stuff there, and we do have a pretty big, well, say a big announcement. An announcement about a LAN, courtesy of someone that's actually in this channel. So, Vikwin, would you mind unmuting on Mumble?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hope Momo can hear me as well.
Yeah, this is fine. It's fine on Mumble. I meant Skype. So basically, Quinn came to me earlier in the week, pretty much asking about whether TF2 would appreciate an extra LAN. So do you want to go into what you came to me earlier in the week about, Con?
Nah, we don't really want that, do we?
Yeah. This was the end of Pirate Radio. No. Since a few weeks, I'm working for a new company. It's an esports company called European Game Series. And we started with hosting a monthly event in Amsterdam, a LAN event. And the first 3 events will be Modern Warfare 3, StarCraft, and FIFA. But we want to add 3 more games to that lineup. And I'm free to think about what games it will be. And I would love to host a TF2 LAN. Yeah, what it comes down to, it's like it's a really easy to go to LAN. It's literally in the center of Amsterdam. Beer is €1.50 or €1 even. You can get hotels for 3 nights, 4 persons room for about €60 per person for all those nights, for 4 nights or 3 nights. The tickets will only be €25, and half of the price of the ticket money will go to the prize pool, which comes down to about, in my head, for first prize, €1,500 without any additional sponsored money. My plan is to do that in July, just after the exams, like get a second community LAN in. A lot of fun there, but it was too bad it wasn't in Amsterdam, the community LAN. So if it's in Amsterdam, I would love to. It's gonna be amazing. I'll show everybody around there, and yeah, that's about it. I just need at least 16 teams. That's the problem.
Well, there you go, guys. That's pretty much, what Quinn talked to me about, and then, asking me, will we get 16 teams to an event like that? And definitely sounds good, but how will we get 16 teams? I mean, look at Assembly; they find it hard enough to get 8 teams. So,
Would Infuse go?
yeah, I would assume so. Would obviously when you talk to our sponsors, but to our management, but at the moment, we still have money that we were going to go to Wassam with that's still there. So, like we have, we're talking about going to a French LAN at the moment, but obviously some of these French LANs are a bit, don't have the biggest cash prize, and it kind of depends what Epsilon are going to do.
Walters, would Epsilon go?
So,
Waiting for you, buddy.
Well, Yo-Yo Tech go.
Wow, Yosek don't even have a roster at the moment, so I couldn't possibly
Yeah, that's
answer that
true.
question.
The thing is, it's really, well, I say cheap. It's never cheap, but compared to other lands, it's really cheap because the travel to Amsterdam is really easy. For most of the people, I think from the UK people, it will be like €100 to fly over to Amsterdam.
I actually looked earlier today, and you can get like Eurostar kind of style trains round trip for
Oh
roughly
yeah,
roughly €80, and that's direct to Amsterdam.
That's really good.
yeah. I took
That's to Amsterdam. Not even like having to do anything
I37.
else.
I took the bus to London, and I think I paid like €60. It will be a turn up and play, so you don't even have to bring your computer. The venue is we're gonna change the venue every time at every event. We're going to try to expand, and the first one will be in a student society, like a student club, with really cheap beer, but it's easy for us, and it's like literally in the center. And then we're going to move to actual clubs. We're currently discussing with a club in Amsterdam. It looks really good, but they have some not really financial problems, but with the current crisis, there are not a lot of clubs doing it right. So they're open for everything, especially during the weekend. And we're just gonna move on and on. Yeah, like I said, the hotels are cheap. For the people who want to get stoned, there's like coffee shops all over the place. The supermarket, the famous Albert Heijn, if you come there, you see it everywhere. It's like on the other side of the venue if we stay at the same one, but they're everywhere. Yeah, if the RC has some questions, I'm happy to answer them.
When is it? Is the question? What time?
It's probably the beginning of July, just after the exams is my idea. Yeah, just a month before, at least more than a month before I-Series, and enough time between I-40. No, wait, what's the next one?
I-45 is the next
I-45,
one. I-46
yeah.
is the summer one.
It's pretty much bang in the
I-42.
middle of them, is it
Yeah.
not? It's like 2 months after one and 2 months before the other. No, wait, it's only
Yeah,
1 month
one,
before.
yeah, 1.5 month. I tried to beginning of July.
It should really attract like a different crowd anyway, though. Like all the fucking like mainland Europeans bitching about how I-Series is too expensive. Time to kind of do something about it.
Step your game up.
Yeah, it's for the current. We're hosting a Modern Warfare 3 console LAN in 11 and 12 of February. Yeah, I know it's not my idea, but the community, they have like a big community over there already. They know the people, so that's the first event, and It's only 25 euros per person. If you book a team ticket, you only pay 90 euros or something. So it's like super cheap.
Really?
Yeah, and half of that, it's even though it's not much, we still get 50% of that ticket goes to prize money.
Will there be like the option for vanilla TV to get like I don't know like Comedian and Pledge or someone in there?
Well, comedian literally lives next to Amsterdam, like really close to me. He lives 10 minutes away, so he can always come there. He's welcome.
I mean like in terms of like facilitating them to do casts and stuff.
Yeah,
and-
we got the, well, the thing is we have like I know Skyride and Comedian are gonna cry if I say that, but we have like a professional TriCaster setup. It's like a couple of 10,000 euros, and it's like really professional. And the only thing they need to do is come over and grab the mic and
Oops.
talk.
pretty sick.
We'll be providing them with beers. Oh wait, comedian does drink. Pledge is not welcome because he doesn't
He
drink.
shouldn't be allowed to drink though. Comedians
Yeah.
should not be allowed to drink. Jesus.
Yeah, MVC is welcome. He can crash at my place.
Also, I'm getting PMs saying Germany will turn up. The German community are keen to go.
the entirety of Germany.
Germany are up for this. I've got about 3 PM saying the Germans like lands and want to go.
And I just heard X-Fane is gonna put up additional 1,000 euros.
Ooh.
What? Who is?
What a show off.
I don't know. It's
You
true. I'm
said
just
that.
making stuff up. But he got like a really sick job now, so he has a lot of money. He should do it.
Who's
He
who
had,
did
he
you
had,
say
a,
that
he had a lot of
was?
money anyway, the dick.
Yeah, but he got a new job, so. Will there be 120 hertz screens? We'll try to. We don't have our own screens yet. We have our own consoles, but I think we can work that out. With the good job. What? Okay, now I'm confused.
Who were you talking about just now?
X-Fane.
Okay, yeah, I was
X-Fane,
I
yeah.
kind of zoned out. I was gonna.
Okay,
That'd not be the
Sonics will come. So the thing is, I think it's really easy for UK teams and German teams to come over.
It's fairly
Okay,
central.
it's literally.
Quarantine is Beaver just said he will come.
Yeah, Ip said in chat as well, QN are going to come.
Yeah,
There we go.
Beaver is really cool. I met him at DreamHack again.
Sounds good.
Sounds like we've already got 16 teams willing to
Yeah.
go.
There
so
we go. Sign us
Yeah,
up.
well that's the problem. They always say yes, but we need the payments in.
If Eurotech don't go, then I will go with like a strong mix.
I'm
yeah,
up for it, Cletus.
I've been meeting.
That's good to know. I'll keep it in mind, right? Yeah.
Commander X, a strong mix. Oh, wait, you're
Yes.
you're
Have you
medic.
not heard? I'm Prem.
Never mind. You're medic.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sounds promising.
I have a meeting tomorrow morning, so I'll propose it. I'm planning to add Dota 2 as well, so I don't know if people. I think you played a lot, right, Greg?
yeah, I do. I really enjoyed that too. It's a really good game. So definitely get that at the event. That will definitely get you,
Greg won't be
the
competing.
teams. Yeah, I'll quit TF2 for Dota, man. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I don't really follow those kind of games, Action RTS, but Dota will be the first one. I've been reading a lot of news, and I'm actually going to play it. Somebody's going to mentor me.
Oh god.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
and
Couldn't
In
go
February-
pro at another game.
yeah, no, I would just want to learn it. I don't want to, because I probably rage too hard at it. But I'm going to stream daily in February as well, 5 days a week. First, the esports talk show together with Roy Chess, the old editor-in-chief at Fnatic. And then I will stream TF2 and Tribes and Quake and all that kind of stuff. So, is this
Awesome.
QTV or Pirate Radio? This is Pirate Radio. I'm really good at plugging myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I noticed how you
I
suddenly
was-
moved on to that, like in your own thing.
I was gonna say, do you want to give any shout outs or anything? But it seems you just done that yourself anyway. So, but thank you very much for coming on for us, though, man.
Oh.
It's nice to hear about your possible LAN event. Some people dubbing it in the chat community or something along those lines. I think.
Community
Quinlan.
land. Community
Quin-
land.
Yeah.
Good one.
I don't remember who I saw that wrote that, but yeah.
Well, if I win the lottery, I will do that. That's a promise X-Fan and I made. Like, if one of us wins the lottery, we're going to host a TF2 tournament.
2033.
Can I ask you a question, Kun?
Yeah.
That's good to know. Is it like a case of if you go to whoever you work for and say, okay, I think we should do TF2, Dota, or whatever? Like, is that it? Like, that then it's happening, or are they gonna be like, fuck that, TF2 sucks or something?
No. They're open for everything, and I'm gonna be the new like event manager. So
Oh, yeah?
I'm actually more of the boss coming for the next event, not this one yet because I just joined. And if I can get 16 teams, they will say yes, 100%.
What do you
That's
need,
the
like,
thing.
in terms of 16 teams? Do you need them, like, signed up already, or, like, down
Uh,
payments, anything, or just,
yeah,
like,
maybe a
word?
little down payment, like half of the team has to be have to pay.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But if you book like really early, not for the land, but for the hotels, they're actually really cheap. I've just looked at it, and there's a hotel called Hem Hotel, and a couple of console players have experience with that from other lands near Amsterdam. And well, the console teams are four players per team, and they pay 240 euros for 4 nights for 4 persons. So yeah.
Do they do, like, well, then 2 people have to pay more?
Well, you can get 3-person rooms as well on that
Ah,
hotel.
okay.
So.
So, like, 4
But
people,
knowing
free
knowing
open
the,
number?
knowing the land community, they always just share hotel rooms and get a mattress and put it on the ground. And we can't all stay at Kuhn's place. No.
But Queen, come on. You know you want to let me stay at your house.
You're allowed to. I've invited you before.
Oh, well, that definitely does sound promising, to be honest. Like, considering the only lands we have at the moment being I Series and the French lands, do we have any more that I know about? Don't think so. Just some small lands here and there. Obviously, we need to get the community behind doing something like this because getting 16 teams to an event, it's hard enough sometimes getting 16 teams to the Easter I Series, yet alone
Well,
getting it to
Easter Ice
different events.
Series gets decent turnouts, man.
Maybe it gets like between
Yeah.
16 and 20 teams.
The thing is,
Gets
this is
closer
just
to
a different
30 last year.
price.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
All
And,
right.
and the food is better and the beer is better. Well, the beer, that's just a personal opinion, but
This in general is so much cheaper. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
there's literally, like, very few people who, like, could have a legitimate, like, excuse not to go other than that they don't want to.
It will be for the UK like community. It'll probably be the same amount of money going to an event like this as to going to iSeries. So
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I know. When I went to iSeries, like I paid less money than a lot of UK people. It was cheaper for me to travel to iSeries, so it's probably the other way around as well. If they can get like the nearest airport, I think almost every airport goes to Amsterdam.
yeah, the
Uh,
majority of them do. Torden actually just messaged me a bit ago saying he checked flights from Manchester to Amsterdam and they were 100 to 150 pounds with KLM, and then same sort of price from London, and I think EasyJet was 70 pounds. So
Just put a little link in the chat, which is like it's about like trains from like London and like boats from like the northeast. Like you can go from like Hull or Newcastle and get there in like 4 hours or something for like dirt cheap, literally like dirt cheap.
£39 each way.
Yeah,
Jesus,
literally dirt cheap.
that's
It cost
awesome.
me an app to go home on the train.
And trust me, the thing is, with all the experience we're going to have with the coming events, we already made a travel guide and a hotel guide, but it's only gonna be better and see what hotels are shit and which are good. So we probably have a really good guide ready when a TF2 LAN will be there. Yeah, we're gonna get some admins in. I think I'm thinking about getting Kenfo over. He's E2 admin too right now, right? He did Excello Cups.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
He does quite a lot. I think he does Esports Heaven, or used to do Esports Heaven.
I think he does
Oh.
Excello.
And Excello. Yeah.
He also calls
It-
Prem teams lazy for not playing Foundry.
Yeah. I'm gonna get Sonny too. Don't worry, Sonny. I'll
Is
get
the
you too.
Nisberg gonna come back for it?
I like.
But yeah,
Don't
that's
know.
it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Quinn, for coming and chatting to us about your upcoming LAN.
Mhm.
Do you want to give a shout out to your Twitter and everything again before you
Oh,
go?
God.
No, I have enough followers now. So, and the TF2 community is not really on Twitter anyway. So, I made one thing. I made a Steam group a few days
Oh,
ago.
God.
You're allowed to join that. It's just Q.
We're allowed, are we? Thank you.
You're allowed to.
Wow.
You don't
I've
have
been
to,
I've
but
been invited to join Steam.
Oh
actually
my
invited.
God.
Are you not in it yet? I invited you.
How privileged are you, Zavi?
I don't.
I haven't
love
been
being
invited.
to things.
I invited all my whole Steam list.
We're not friends on Steam.
We are, right?
No, we're not.
No.
No.
Oh.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Quinn. We're going to move on to this
wait,
next
wait,
topic. Good, good.
You forwarded over my PC case. And
No,
now this.
yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Right, let's move on.
Anyway.
Okay, move on.
Cheers for joining us for that then, Quinn. And we just
Mute
got
myself again.
like kind of like two more topics left. One's a bit short, like some people have been whining about the original. Don't care. There we go.
Allow it. It's pretty obvious. We don't even need to reason why.
Yeah. The only
The
reason
end.
it was banned, from what I remember, was the fact that it had a bug with Kritzkrieg.
Yeah, it didn't play the sound when it was critzed, but it's fixed now. There's really no reason not to. You have to be a retard to think otherwise. Sorry, guys, but it's true.
Indeed, and then we got one more topic, which is a thread that came about a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, I think, something like that, written by Anti about pretty much with the question TF2's dead.
Don't worry, guys. Greg's not about to depress you all again.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let these guys do it instead. So I don't remember if you want to give. Do you want to give a gist of that thread?
I didn't even
Cadence?
read it. I just read the bit about pickup 2. Literally didn't pay attention.
Basically, Andy was complaining that everyone's shit, more or less. He was just like, yeah, and it doesn't seem to be the same sort of influx of talent, sort of up and coming. You know, all these players who have been in Div 3, 4, 5 for however long, not getting any better, not improving, not moving up, and whining about it a bit.
Okay, I think it's pretty clear why that is. It's not because people don't want to help people anymore, because there's no reason why that should. As I think it was actually Blind pointed out, TF2 is like one of the nice assist games, like in terms of helping new players. Like most games don't need it, and I think the real problem is that the top players just simply don't play as much as top players did like 3 years ago, because the top players are bored of the game in general, apart from like high level competition. So it's not they don't want to play with lower players. They just don't want to play the game unless it's like with their team. It's pretty obviously the case. There's like not many teams that really play with like a lot of their players, like in mixes or double mixes or anything. Whereas it really used to be the case that you'd see like all the best players playing all the time.
Yeah, but I will chime in here and say that I don't play Scout unless it's with my team, and I just don't enjoy playing Scout in mixes, double mixes, whatever. I merc for teams. I play Scout when I'm merking, but other than that, I really don't. It's not fun playing your main class when you're like playing a positional game, or you're not charging in like idiots like a lot of people do when they play these mixes, and it's just makes it like not fun at all. I'd rather play like soldier, demo, medic than play Scout. So I think they was going on the point of course that there's not really many upcoming players. I don't know. I think if you look at Prem, we've brought 3 new teams in, sort of thing. Effectively, 5 new teams have come up to Prem now. So,
and there's new players within that team. There are,
yeah, I was going to say,
like lesser knowns, like the Erectuses, the Croutons. Even Sam, is only kind of known because he was accused of hacking lots. These aren't.
If we had
superstars.
5 other teams in Prem instead, these teams would be in Div 1 and people would be saying, oh, look, we've got all these upcoming talent in Div 1, rather than looking at Prem and going, oh, now we don't have any upcoming talent. I don't know whether that is a case, and also you've got to take into account the fact that a lot of teams have picked up these new talent recently and brought it up. That there's while there's nobody else jumping to fill the new talent shoes just yet, because they haven't had a chance to play since these players have been picked up. So give it a season and they will be there. I think people complaining that because they don't play with top players in mixes is a bit bullshit.
Silly.
Yeah.
I think Crouton said it as well. With resources out there, you don't have to play with Prem and Div 1 players. Like, it's I don't know when this sort of idea of you can only get better by playing with better people comes. I know basically that's the idea, but where it feels like people can't get better unless they're playing in like high level mixes all the time.
Well, that does become true at like a certain point where you need to play with high level people to get better, but there's like an entry level to doing that you can achieve like off your own back.
Yeah.
Like, you can get to a level where people will let you play with them, even if you're maybe a little bit below them, just by like watching demos, learning the game properly without like, I mean, even though a lot of high players won't play like mixes with lower players, that generally if you message them and like not be a retard and just like ask them nicely, like say, yo, I'm really keen to improve, any chance you can watch my demo or something, Like most of them will say yes, like 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people do get extra time here and there. Like I remember when I was still in the old Infuse line, I think we were still Twisted Play at the time, and like I got the opportunity to merc for TCM a couple of times, literally because I chatted to buy at LAN, added into Steam, and then was like, yeah, is there any chance I can merc when you might need me? And then you know they'll think when they need a scout merc, they'll go, oh, hang on a minute, we need a scout merc. Who can we get in? You know, TF Europe, nobody's responding. Oh shit, shit, shit. We need someone to make sure we play this game. Just go through your Steam list. Like, the amount of times I've just had to go through my Steam list to get someone to play sometimes. Like, you know, you can't expect us to. I say us. You can't expect the top players to like invite you to double mixes. I mean, fair enough. Sometimes like we get double mixes at the moment where it's just like we get like 3 players and we go, oh shit, we can't get 12 people, and just everyone gets invited, and like, you know, you get the opportunity there, I guess, but it doesn't really affect your gameplay. And people saying that pickup 2 is, you know, you're missing it from pickup 2. Like, I don't think so. Pickup 2 is become a double mix to me.
It's not really as elite as it used to be. It's a bit
No.
more.
Whenever I play a pickup 2 game, I play as soldier, and I think we played one earlier today. Okay.
Oh god! Literally, the pickups I've had today have been the worst. Just the worst. But, yeah.
It really depends what players you get.
Yeah, like pickup 2 can vary a lot. Like same with double mixes. Like sometimes we'll double mix and it will be all like Div 1/Prem people, and other times it will be anywhere between Div 4 and up.
It just depends, like, because if there's players that like encourage good, like, serious games, and there's players that literally like just can ruin games by themselves. Like the kind of players that like go sniper on mid. It's like as soon as one guy does it, and then there's a guy like, I don't know, like Evokia or someone on the other team who's just like a fucking chance to go sniper, but doesn't really get for it. So yeah, like Havoc goes sniper on mid. It's like Evoke's turn to then counter, and then before you know it, literally you got like 2 pirates and a spy on your team, and it's just gone to fucking shit immediately.
It's like jukebox isn't invited
Oh,
anymore.
those games are so fun though.
Yeah, but then you get players like me and Byte who will just like go like, oh my god, what are you doing, or whatever, and try and get it back on track. It just depends like how you get like that mix.
Yeah. But yeah, like to me, you know, I still don't main class in pickup 2. So, you know, I just have fun off class. And where would I say what skill would I say my soldier is? I don't know. What skill is my soldier, Zavi?
You're
Div
better than
4?
Ghostface, I'll tell you now.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Ghostface is in pickup 2 now as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's ignore that. Let's move on to maybe the other pickup 2 sort of stuff about them needing admins. I know a lot of people have been moaning about this. This is the same sort of thing, though. Same sort of line as pickup 2 really isn't. You know, I don't think of it as being there to help people progress. It's there for when people are bored just to play. But Cicadas had quite a lot of strong views on this. Do you want to go into it first, Cadus?
Well, I was trolling Josephile. What did you say?
Pickup 2 admin stuff.
Oh, well, I won't get too like uppity about it because Byte actually seems to be considering making changes and getting new admins now.
Yeah.
But the situation was there's been 3 admins, like literally 3 admins that are ever in the channel or ever will be in the channel. Even if you like message the old ones like Fishu or Nos, you know, you can't get shit from them because they don't play anymore. But basically they didn't play the game, like at least the pickup 2 games. Byte played a little bit, Babo didn't play, F2 didn't play. So whenever something went wrong, there's no admin about. People need to be re-invited because of the system. So there's constantly like people messaging everyone they know for invites and having to go through a chain of like 6 people to get an invite. So there's a load of generic internet bitching, which made everyone feel silly afterwards for getting so mad. But the end result was Byte is going to get more admins. So hooray!
Yay.
Everyone can rejoice and play like 1 extra pickup a day now as a consequence.
Yeah, and they are actually looking at changing the system, I think, as well, as Koss is spamming in the RC channel saying get captains into it. I think they're looking to change and put it and make it that sort of game mode. But I think I prefer the system it's like that now. You know, I don't think captains will benefit the game too much.
Captains definitely would help.
Yeah.
Really?
It would self-moderate the channel. Like if you have captains, then the good players get picked and the shit ones don't get picked. And if there's enough players, then a game will start with the good players, and a game will start with the shit players.
Like they do it how the American pickup do it, where only certain players have privileges to captain, and then you don't get the new guys captaining and just like messing up the teams. Because you see it in double mix as well. When there's someone who's bad at picking teams, it ruins.
Oh god, yeah, it literally does just destroy it. Yeah, like, because you don't need people to be really strict on who gets in and who doesn't. Because if someone gets in who's like much worse than everyone else, then they won't be picked very often. So,
Yes.
and if they do get picked and they're awful, then they probably won't get picked again. So, yeah. So it's basically like it's not like, I don't know how if it happened there, how the inviting would work, but I guess there would still be some restriction just for the sake of, thinning out the numbers. But I suppose it wouldn't be a very high restriction. But I don't know. It just depends. It would like be. It'd probably be a bit risky. Like, I don't really think I'd like to see Pickup 2 do it, but maybe if a new channel were to spring up, it would be a good thing. Because if it could go the complete other way and there's just completely overrun with too many lower skill players, that it just isn't Pickup 2, it's just like any old pickup.
Yeah,
But,
what would you think to maybe opening Pickup 2 a lot more and creating a, invite again?
Like they used to be.
Like they used to be, exactly. So having a invite channel with the, the Prem, possibly
Hello.
Div 1 teams, and opening up Pickup 2 to the, up to Div 3 level sort of thing. Do you think that would improve at all, or would you reckon everyone would just screw it and play in the invite instead?
I don't know. I think I think you would have to get the invite channel first before you opened Pickup 2, because the invite channel may be like, if it's not active, then basically you're taking away the middle ground. So people will have like very, very few invite pickups, and then only the Pickup 2, which is now really open. Like, because at the moment you get kind of like a Div 1 level game in Pickup 2 more often than not. But if you were to say take that down to a Div 2 or a Div 3 level, then the only thing that's kind of filling that gap is like 1 or 2 invite pickups, like a week or something, like it used to be. So you'd have to kind of proto test the invite first before it got opened to see if it works.
Would you prefer maybe seeing a Pickup 1 reopened with an actual still invite sort of stage, but Div 3 adds that extra way for people to come into it and play more games? Mm-hmm. But we would be in exactly the same situation, I guess, with Div 4 players wanting to play in the other one. So it wouldn't really change very much. So
I don't know. I just wish like the before Pickup 2 existed, I thought I was not a very good player then, so maybe it wasn't the case for other people, but I thought it was really good how you get such a diverse mix of players. Because now as soon as you have an open pickup, no top players will go there. But it used to be that you had like it used to be that you had just like one main pickup channel where everyone played, apart from like literally the elite of the elite in invite pickup. But everyone would play there, so you'd get games where you had 10 like Div 1 and then a couple of scrubs.
Yeah. I remember
or you'd get like 6 opposed to 6 or whatever.
Those are like my first memories of pickups, was like, when you see like the big kind of famous type, like, oh my god, I'm scouting versus coins, I'm so screwed. Just sort of like one team would have 3 like Div 1 guys, and so would the other team, and it like the balance system used to be a lot better.
Yeah, my first memory of I think it was Pickup 2 was back before I even played TF2, and I used to play COD 4 with Seb, and he was just like, come play TF2 with me. I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a go. And he just invited me to Pickup 2, and I played this pickup, and I had absolutely no idea what was going on. God.
Good work, Seb.
Yeah, that was funny. So I think I got like 1 point, something along those lines. Pretty good times. But yeah, so I think we should probably just the new admins let Byte sort it out the way he wants to do it, and along with F2 and Barbel, and see how it goes.
Let's let Byte doing it, because if we put our foot down, that would stop Byte.
Yeah,
I think Pickup 2 at the moment is okay. Like there's a lot of games recently since everyone kind of first kicked up a fuss. Byte like became more active as an admin.
Okay.
Yes.
But there's more people getting invites at the moment. I don't really play enough in Pickup 2 to know that much about it. I kind of only ever join if I see a bunch of people that I like playing, and and I end up playing and being like, why the hell did I play this game? Like pickup, I don't like pickups. That's it really. I much prefer getting a double mix. It's so much more fun. But Zavi's just been moved out of Rumble again.
I don't know how I keep doing that, man. Like,
you always move me as well when it happens as well.
It's so weird. I don't know how I do it.
Okay, but I think this podcast has gone on for quite a long time. We've pretty much covered all our topics. Hopefully, it's been interesting for you guys. I've enjoyed it.
Last bit of gossip: Havoc's trialing for La Giraffe tomorrow. So good luck to Havoc.
Joining a French team. So, do you guys want to give any other shout outs before we do go?
If you think you got good gaming skills and you want to pay the bills, then message the sucker.
I'm also accepting invites for double mixes if we run out of players, so add me. And also shout out to all our fanboy Germans who are always here. They're like our groupies.
Yeah, they love it, don't they? Cool Kids Don't Look at Explosions is their channel this week. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to Crasp from Trath. He said for your haiku, I think. I had another shout out as well, but I don't remember what it was. My team, the community, everyone that joins us. Thank you very much. Thank you for